We are Mike and Jeannie, and we restore old houses. In 2021, we moved to South Carolina and bought a 120-year-old Victorian house. Follow along as we put the polish back on this Victorian masterpiece.
A very warm welcome back to 1834 Restoration House.
The scented darts failed to repel the raccoon, so the trapper came back out yesterday, and he set some live traps with his special concoction that raccoons can't resist. He says it works every time. Well, knowing how things go around here, nothing ever goes smoothly, so I wasn't really expecting any significant results. But today is the morning after, and we are going to go check the traps right now with you guys and see if we got anything.
Oh yeah.
This is great news. We finally got the raccoon, so the trapper's coming over in a few minutes to take it away, and he's also going to reset the traps and make sure that there weren't any others. So maybe we finally have evicted all the wildlife out of our house after, 2 years? Hopefully that was all there is. So how do you feel about having a house completely devoid of raccoons and squirrels?
I am thrilled. Finally. It's been a long road.
It has. We've been fighting this for months. Well,
Couple years,
actually, yeah.
Time's flying.
It does. So we have a lot of repair work to do on places where raccoons and squirrels had broken in.
Yes.
And we'll get to that at some point. But today we celebrate our first victory. And the trapper will come back out in a few minutes and he'll take it away and reset the traps again and see, hopefully, that there's no more raccoons.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. A couple of weeks ago, we started building these art easels, and the original design got changed a little bit. We found these things, and we thought these were really cool because they're a little bit more rigid. But there's a problem with these. They don't allow the legs to fold up properly when the sandwich board is kind of like that. It just does not work. So we've got that problem. We also have this other problem where the legs are too skinny and the screws are busting out. And Jeannie had a thicker design originally. She had 2x2s, which I thought were excessive for this. It would have weighed a ton. So we're going to meet in the middle and try a 2" by 3/4 inch. And that fits the space just about perfectly right there. So we'll rebuild this using the new components and see how that works.
Yep. My idea, we changed it to your idea, now we're combining them. And we should have the perfect outcome.
The whole thing is a big experiment anyway.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
We've never done this, so it's fun.
Right. So we're going to build 2 of them and that'll be it. This is the wood that was left over from the original cut. And when we start cutting 2" wide boards out of here, there's not going to be enough to do both easels. So we had to go back to our favorite sawmill and get some more. Come on. This was a 12-foot long board. It's 12 inches wide, but we had to have them cut it down because if you take a 12-foot long board and you set it in a 6-foot bed over the tailgate, you get this little seesaw thing here and it's just going to tip right out and fall out. We can't have that. When we bought a bunch of them, there was enough weight in there that it would hold itself in place. Well, isn't that beautiful? 12-inch wide rough cut lumber. I could think of some great applications for something like this. Like building replicas of historic buildings, this would make a really great wide plank flooring.
We used to have a really big bush right here, and it was pretty tall, and it made it almost impossible to see if there was any traffic coming out when you're pulling out or backing up with the car. So Mike and the neighbor next door, they pulled it out with the tractor. It came out in one pull. It was so smooth and easy, and it came out with all of its roots. So the neighbor transplanted it and put it somewhere where they block some of the sun that they're hoping to block.
Circling back to the raccoon problem, the trapper took the raccoon away, and we've been listening for the last couple of days now. We haven't heard a single thing. We haven't heard a noise up there or out here. So I believe that we are raccoon free. Well guys, we're back out here at the brick pile. It's much smaller than it was, but there's still a lot to go. And there were a couple of people who were concerned about the baby snakes that we killed here in the last episode. Well, those baby snakes are copperheads, and you do not want to mess with copperheads, and we really don't want copperheads running around our property. So we're dispatching them as we find them, and I'm hoping there aren't any more in here, but there was quite a few. All day long, there's been a bunch of cumulobumous clouds all around us, but for some reason, right here in our yard, there's this big blue hole right above us, and we never get any shade. Everybody else is getting shade but us. Oh well, back to work. This stuff has been piled here a long time. So long that there's actually roots growing into it. So let's have a look here. Look at that. That was actually growing on top between the bricks. Here's another one. That is crazy. All right guys, I've taken a couple of tractor loads to the truck now, and there's a noticeable difference here. There's a lot less brick than there was. Now remember, when we first started, that pile was probably about to here and came all the way down to here. So that's a whole lot of brick. So we're gonna go ahead and fill the truck up, whether it's today or some other day, and then take the whole truckload to the dump. Now when I say full, I don't mean like full to the brim, because this stuff's heavy. We probably go about a third full. We don't want to risk it. Even though it's a heavy-duty truck, we want that truck to last a long time. I'm going to go ahead and take this load over to the truck now. There's probably a couple of good tractor loads here left, and possibly another truckload, because I've got to get all that stuff and all these old rocks and everything. It all has to go. We're also finding that there's something below the soil level. I'm finding bricks that are buried, and I don't know if they're buried on purpose or if they just kind of sank in the ground over all the years of sitting there.
Ooh, mystery continues.
It's kind of intriguing.
Yeah.
Will we find anything interesting under there, or will it just be a dead end?
Thank you for watching 1834 Restoration House. Like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next week, hopefully.